Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls of the YouTube world, CJ Rose's back in the building. Welcome back to the channel. All right. So, video number 2 of the night. And it's a match that we learned, or I learned about earlier tonight. And it was a match that I've been waiting for to get announced, and it actually did. And I'm happy to say, because it will be Karrion Kross and the Authors of Pain, the Final Testament, as they take on Montez Ford, Angelo Dawkins, the Street Profits, and Bobby Lashley, the almighty Bobby Lashley, in a Philadelphia street fight. Works for me. You know what I'm saying? Works for me. So, we are going all the way back to last year. Not that far last year. I want to say December of last year, where I believe it was the tribute to the troops, if I'm not mistaken. I believe it was the tribute to the troops, where they had the U.S. Championship tournament to determine who would face Logan Paul for the United States Championship at the Royal Rumble. The reason why I'm going back to that, because I feel like that's where it started. Because ironically, it was Bobby Lashley versus Karrion Kross in round 1. And Bobby Lashley dominated Karrion Kross, decimated him. Like, Karrion Kross didn't really do much in that match. That's how bad it was. From there, Karrion Kross wasn't seen for like weeks. Like weeks. You didn't hear him. Was it even December? Or was that November? Well, Tribute to the Truth was December. But was that match in December? I don't remember. But I know it was last year. We didn't hear from Karrion Kross for weeks. And then here comes Kross with his usual cryptic promos. But as he's doing these promos, you see shadows of figures, of people. Which means when Karrion Kross comes back, it's not coming back alone. So, how did they even debut? Is a good question. I think Bobby Lashley and the Street Profits were out doing a promo. Actually, I think I remember it. I think it was either the first SmackDown of 2024 or maybe the second. I believe Bobby Lashley, I think this was the promo where Bobby Lashley and the Street Profits were out there and they were talking about what 2024 was going to be like, you know, wins and championships and things like that. I think they were out there just talking. So as they were talking, I think a clock was on the Titantron and anything. Then there was just a whole bunch of pictures. Then here comes Karrion Kross with Scarlett. And then the shadows of the people, here they were. Paul Ellering, Akam, Rezar, the Authors of Pain, return to the WWE. They were with Karrion Kross. Immediately, I saw it. I said to myself, I like it. Because I did. I like the pairing. I like the Authors of Pain. I really did. Like I can't say in WWE. I say NXT. NXT, they were monsters. Of course, I mean, how big they are, for God's sakes. You know what I'm saying? Guys be animals. And WWE, really wasn't the same. And I think it probably was the case of the fact that they let Paul Ellering leave the Authors of Pain after they made their main roster debut, which I think was probably a stupid decision. And then I know they paired up with Seth Rollins and Murphy. That whole thing, that thing really didn't go nowhere. And then I think before the pandemic, or during the pandemic, we actually didn't see AOP after that. And I think they left. I don't think they got fired. Did they get fired? I don't think they got fired. but they did leave. So we didn't see them for about 3 years. And here they are surfaced against Karrion Kross and Scarlett. These two factions, I guess you call factions, were actually supposed to have a match a couple weeks ago. That never actually happened. And yeah, ever since then, they've been on each other's case time and time again. And now WrestleMania comes ahead in a no disqualification match, street fight. Happy to say, I'm with it. I'm with it. Here's my problem, though. Here's my problem with this match. And this was always going to be my problem with this match. Since this match never happened, it never took place, WrestleMania will officially be, I believe WrestleMania will be officially the first time that Karrion Kross and the Authors of Pain wrestled together. I think this is literally the very first. I think WrestleMania is going to be the very first time. As for Lashley and the Prophets, I want to say this is their second or third match together. Like, they've been doing everything so separately. They barely are in the ring together. So, my problem with this match is when Bobby Lashley and the Street Profits made their debut on Fastlane last year, that's the match they should have won. They should have won that match because that was their very first match together. They should have won that. Instead, they had the LWO win that, with Carlito making his return to the company. I was fine with Carlito making his return to the company. I was fine with that. But at the same exact time, that should have been the time that they won. And ever since then, Lashley and the Profits haven't really, again, they haven't really even been together much for them to even accumulate anything. And just like I said, it's Karrion Kross and Authors of Pain, very first time together. So something's got to give. I know something had to give. But for either one of these two factions to even be a thing, one of them got to win, one of them got to lose. And my other thing is, I don't know who, well, at this point in time, Cross and AOP needed a little more. Because again, this is their this technically, if I'm not mistaken, this should be their very first time together. So since that's the case, I think I got them winning. But I want Lashley and the Profits to win. I want them to win more. But in terms of who needed more, it's the Final Testament. The Final Testament needs it more, which sucks. But yeah, I got the Final Testament winning this. Because, man, listen, Bobby Lashley and the Street Profits have been together since last year. They came together last year. The Profits were supposed to be heels. Never happened. I mean, it did happen, but it was like it was hard to, because it's like the crowd wasn't even against booing them. It was more Bobby Lashley. Like, the crowd loved Bobby Lashley a little too much. And it was just like, well, it can't really be heels if Lashley keeps getting all these pops. You know what I'm saying? So they were just like, you know what? Boom, their faces again. Like, boom, they were faces. It's like the heel turn never happened. It's like the Street Profits heel turn just never happened. So, yeah, I got Cross and I got the Final Testament winning. I do. Only because they needed more. But I feel like Lashley and the Prophets still may get it. So who knows? I'm not even gonna guess what happens with either one of these factions later on. I can't really tell you what happens if one wins or the other one loses. I don't know. I just know that hopefully down the line of this year, these tag titles get split. They get split. Not like Curvin, again, like my #1 fan at this point. Not Curvin, who wants to go down in the comments and say, oh, at WrestleMania, we're going to have one Raw champion and one SmackDown. No. There's 2 SmackDown teams. Like, what the, like, how? Like, how that going to work? Anyway, down the line, hopefully these title belts the tag titles get split again. And then we can have the Profits and AOP just battle out for the tag titles. Boom, right? Lashley and Cross. I wish a title. I wish a title would be in the middle of this. I think it would be better. What titles? The United States title. I wish the U.S. titles in the middle of this. They could have that, have like a little U.S. title feud. It works out. You know what I'm saying? I wish championships were involved in this a little bit. But it is what it is, right? It is what it is. Yeah, but I got the Final Testament winning. I think it means more, but I wouldn't be surprised if I see Lashley and the Prophets win. So, yeah, that's where I'm at with it. All right. So, until next time, it's been Rose, man. Thank you for watching. Thank you for all the love and support as always. Well, I knocked down every WrestleMania match except one. And tomorrow, we are going to cover it. Cody Rhodes, Roman Reigns, the Undisputed Universal title on the line. We are going to cover it because there is so much to get into with that one. That's why I waited so long, because it just seems like every time I wanted to do it, it was like a new development. So I waited. We'll talk about it tomorrow. Then come Wednesday, NXT Stand and Deliver predictions. Thursday, WrestleMania Night 1 predictions. Friday, WrestleMania Night 2 predictions. Then, of course, Saturday and Sunday is what it is. You know what I'm saying? So we here with it. So until next time, peace, love, 100. Here.